Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'll be making 3 easy and inexpensive Christmas DIYs. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Now let's go ahead and get started. For my first DIY I'm going to be making this Christmas tree canvas, and I began by painting my canvas white. I am using a 16 by 20 inch canvas. Now I'm going to be using these star ornaments that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I spray painted one silver. I placed a star at the top of the canvas, and then I begin to lightly sketch out a Christmas tree. Once I was done drawing out my Christmas tree, I applied Mod Podge to it, following the lines of my sketch. After I was done spreading out my Mod Podge, I sprinkled down some crushed glass that I bought at Michael's. To add more sparkle to my tree, I am also going to be adding some fine silver glitter. And then I shook off the excess and let that dry. Once my Mod Podge had dried, I added Mod Podge Clear Sealer to my entire canvas. I added the Mod Podge Clear Sealer to seal in my crushed glass and glitter. I am also going to be lightly sprinkling on some fine silver glitter to the rest of my canvas. After the canvas had dried, I hot glued the star to the top of the tree. Now I'm going to be using some diamond mesh ribbon that I cut into strips to make the trunk of the tree. I am going to be hot gluing the strips to my canvas. And this is how my canvas ended up looking. For my second DIY, I am going to be making these lighted crystal trees using some Dollar Tree items. I am going to be using these shopping mats from Dollar Tree to make a cone. Once I shaped out my cone, I hot glued it together. Once I hot glued it together, I trimmed off the excess plastic. And then I trimmed off the bottom of my cone to the height that I wanted my tree to be. Now I'm going to be using these acrylic gems that I bought at Dollar Tree to decorate my cone. I am going to be hot gluing them in place all the way to the top of the tree. To give it a clean finish, I hot glued a gem at the top of the tree. For my lighting, I am going to be using these fairy lights that I bought on Amazon. And this is how my crystal trees ended up looking. For my last DIY, I am going to be making this Christmas tree using Dollar Tree items. I am going to be using 2 of these Dollar Tree Christmas trees, and I am going to put them together to make the tree appear fuller. You can also use garland or garland ties to make them appear fuller, but I like to do it this way so that the greenery matches. I am just twisting some of the branches to hold the trees together, and I will be doing this all the way to the top of the tree. And this is how my tree looked after I put them together. Now I'm going to be using some white spray paint to make it look like my tree has snow. After my paint had dried, I added some of this faux snow that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I glued it on with some Mod Podge. After brushing the Mod Podge onto my branches, I sprinkled on the faux snow. After I was done covering up my tree, I let that completely dry, and once it was dry, I shook off the excess. To make a base for my Christmas tree, I am going to be using 4 of these mirror coasters from Dollar Tree. I will be hot gluing the mirrors together to make a box. I used foam board from Dollar Tree to make a base for my box. Once I cut out my foam board, I glued it in place. To decorate my box, I am going to be using some of this diamond mesh ribbon that I cut into a long strip to go all around my box. I hot glued the strip all around the center of my box. Then I cut 2 smaller strips of bling wrap to decorate the front part of my box. Now I'm going to be using one of these Christmas flowers that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I am going to be cutting the clip on the back. I hot glued the flower to the front of the box. I am using this floral foam that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I am cutting it in half and placing half of it inside of my box. You could also glue your foam down to make it more secure. After placing the tree on my box, I am going to be using the silver garland to cover up the foam. I am going to be using this star that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I am going to snap off the base and hot glue it onto my tree. To decorate my tree, I am going to be using these silver berries that I bought at Dollar Tree, and I am going to take them off the stem. I am also going to be using this mini Christmas ornaments that I also bought at Dollar Tree. And this is how my Christmas tree ended up looking. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.